past tense, future tense. Actually, it's much easier than you think. You will master it in 10 minutes. Ni hao, 我是Yimin老师. Today's video is a request of one of our regular audience, Denise. 谢谢 Denise. He asked how to express past tense and future tense in Chinese. So here we are. Today I'm going to explain it as clear as possible. First, I want to keep in mind that in Chinese, we have totally different ways to express tenses. We don't change the form of the verbs at all. Things like this in English or like this in Spanish, it doesn't exist in Chinese at all. For us, it's totally una locura. In Chinese, there isn't a morphological change of the verbs. We don't change the form of the verbs. Instead, to express the tenses, we just need the help of some function word or auxiliary verbs. First, let's see the past tense. There isn't something similar like verb conjugations, so no worries about that. Instead, we need to pay a lot of attention on the meaning of the verb to see what kind of verb it is. First, for the kind of verbs that is an action with a clear start and a clear end, like 看, look, 吃, eat, 打, hit. This kind of verbs are talking about an action. 看, look, you start look, you stop looking. And 吃, you start eat, and then you drop the chopsticks and you finish eating. And 打, hit, you hit and you stop hitting. So this kind of verbs have a clear start and a clear end. So it's action. For this kind of verbs, you need the function word 了 to put it after the verb to express the past tense. For example, 看, look. The sentence, 我看了一个电影. I saw a movie. We just put the function word 了 after the verb 看. 我看了一个电影. And with this, the sentence became past tense. I saw a movie. Another example, 吃, eat. 我吃了你的饼干. I ate your cookies. We just put the function word 了 after the verb 吃, eat. And the sentence became I ate your cookies. It's a past tense. The action is already finished. Another sentence, 打, hit. 他打了你老公. He hit your husband. So we put function word 了 after the verb 打, hit. And the sentence became past tense. He hit your husband. You see, quite easy. You just need the function word 了 after the verb. So that's the first kind of verbs. Now, another kind of verbs. Unlike the previous one, this kind of verbs are not action. Instead, it's a continuous situation, a continuous condition. They don't have a clear start or clear end. It's a continuous situation. The typical examples are 是, to be, 有, to have, to exist, there is, and 知道, to know, 认识, to be familiar with, 喜欢, like. This kind of verbs, it's hard to know when to start and when finished. It's a continuous situation. With this kind of verbs, you can't use the function word 了 anymore. So what we need? The answer is nothing. You just need to put the time that action happened in the sentence, and the sentence become logically understandable. So you don't need any mark or anything else. For example, 是, to be. 他以前是我的老板. He was my boss before. This sentence is past tense because we put the time word 以前 before the sentence. So it's obviously that you're talking about the things before. So it's a past tense. The normal present tense is 他是我的老板. He is my boss. But if we put the time word 以前 before, it became the past tense. 他以前是我的老板. He was my boss before. Next one, 有 to have. 我小时候有一只狗. I had a dog when I was little. This sentence is a past tense because we put the time word 小时候 in one's childhood. So we know you are talking about the past. The normal present tense is 我有一只狗. I have a dog. But if we put 小时候, my childhood, so it became past tense. 我小时候有一只狗. I had a dog when I was little. See, very easy. Another example, 喜欢 like. It doesn't suddenly happen and suddenly stop. It's a continuous situation. So it's the second kind of verbs. 我上大学的时候喜欢她. I liked her when I was in university. This sentence is a past tense because we put the time word 上大学的时候 when I was in university. So you're talking about in the past. The normal present sentence is 我喜欢她. I like her. But you put the time word 上大学的时候 when I was in university. So it became past tense. So you see, for this kind of verbs, you don't need anything. You just need to put the time word in the sentence and everything becomes understandable and becomes the past tense. So to sum up about the past tense, you just need to know what kind of verbs it is. It's an action or it's a continuous situation. If the action, you need the function word le, and if it's a continuous situation, you just need to put the time verb in the sentence. Okay, now for the future tense. Now it doesn't depend on what kind of verbs it is. Now the rules is like this. We can divide it in two occasions. One is things people plan to do. And another is things people predict is going to happen. The first type, the things that people plan to do, we just need to put the auxiliary verb 要 before the verb. Remember, now is before the verb. For example, 我明天要去北京. I'm going to Beijing tomorrow. So it's your plan. You plan to go to Beijing and it's going to happen. So we just put the auxiliary verb 要 before the verb 去, to go. And you are expressing a future tense. You know what? There's another good news. Since you already put the time word 明天, tomorrow, so we know you're talking about the future. So sometimes you even don't need to put the auxiliary verb 要. You just say 我明天去北京. I'm going to Beijing tomorrow. So you see, in Chinese, as long as the logic makes sense, we don't have so much grammar rules. Another sentence, 他们下个月结婚. They will get married next month. So this is their plan. According to the plan, they're going to get married next month. You see, in this sentence, we just put the important word together to offer enough information. 他们 they 下个月 next month 结婚 get married. Here we don't have any grammar marks. You just stack the words together and it's already a future tense. Okay, now the second occasion. The things that people predict that are going to happen. It doesn't involve people's plan, people's intention, but according to the prediction, it's going to happen. In this kind of case, we need another auxiliary verb, 会, and we put it before the verb to express a future tense. For example, 明天会下雨. Tomorrow is going to rain. It's not your plan, but according to you or according to the weather forecast, it's going to rain. So here we put 会 before the verb 下雨, to rain, and it's a future tense. Another example, 我觉得 他会赢 I think he will win. It's not your plan, it's not your decision, but you assume or you predict that he will win. So we put the auxiliary verb 会 before the verb 赢 to win, and sentence is done. So that's about the future tense. From this, you can notice that the grammar in Chinese is really easy. As long as you offer enough information for the listener, your sentence is logically understandable and there's nothing more you need to worry about, like verb conjugation or things like this. And that's why for Chinese people, it's so hard to learn English, Spanish, or the languages that have so much morphological changes. So that's all about the past tense and the future tense. For the past tense, we need to see what kind of verb it is, and we use a function word le, or we just put a time word. And about the future tense, it depends, it's your plan or it's your prediction, and we use different auxiliary verbs. So the rules are very simple. The most important is you need to remember as many time words as you can, because that tells when the thing happened and it's the key information in your sentence. So here, let's review some very important time words together. 今天 today, 昨天 yesterday, 明天 tomorrow, 早上 morning, 中午 noon, 下午 afternoon, 上周 last week, 下周 next week, 上个月 last month, 下个月 next month, 今年 this year, 去年 last year, 明年 next year, 现在 now, 以前 before, 将来 future. Yes, take note if it's necessary because they're really important and can save you so much problems. So that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give it a like, and if you haven't subscribed yet, I invite you to subscribe on my channel, and I'm really happy to have you here. Remember, anything you want to tell me, just leave a message in the comment section. I will read it and reply it. So that's all for today. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time. 再见, take care.